chat so I can see that too.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Getting to Know the Artist. I'm Wiggles, as most of you should know by now, and this man next to me, y'all should know too by now. But if not, this is Humble Among, and we're gonna get to know him as an artist, not as a podcaster. I'm just gonna throw that out there. This man obviously has his own podcast show that I kind of inspire from when I do mine and trying to be creative with new things and ideas without just doing the same old replayed, redone thing or whatever. So yeah, I appreciate what you do, man, and thank
Hey,
you for
thank you for
taking the
having me, bro.
time. Yeah,
I'm getting the chat set up
absolutely.
here a little bit so I can see the
That's cool.
chat.
I'm
Here
gonna
we go. All
see.
right.
We got Bizarre,
Shouts out to Don,
Lumberjack.
Bizarre,
We
EC. What's up, y'all? Riddles. What's up, y'all? Hey, what?
yeah, people coming up in here.
I know Cheese. I know Cheese. Team MUJ is going on right now, and Cheese is like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Man,
It's all good. It's all good.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I don't, that's another thing. I don't really like, I guess that's my fault. Widget, you're lacking, man. You're supposed to know this. Widget is my assistant. He's been taking the blunt load of doing the small talk and whatnot and lining some stuff up and whatnot for me. So, shout out to Widget in the chat. We need to be checking schedules maybe for at least bigger streams. But at any
Uh,
rate, those of you
it's
that
it's
decided to,
it's so hard.
yeah.
It's so hard with. I mean, there's another interview I'm doing tomorrow that I had to move because I fucking was like, oh shit, I had already scheduled Wiggles for Saturday. I need to move this one to Sunday. I'm doing a show, a pre-tape shit with the homie Josh tomorrow. So it's tough, man. Like
Oh,
I try to get my own schedule in like whenever I can type thing, and it's tough with so many different streamers and shit. I try not to step on toes, but eventually people are going to stream on top of each other. It's just the way it is.
right. I should have. Give me a second. I just want to make sure my do not disturb is on here. Oh,
Hey, shouts out to Team MUJ though. They're doing that shit trash, that shit fire, and it's really pretty fresh.
hell yeah, no doubt. Um, all right, guys. So we're just gonna jump right into the questions then, if you're ready, humble.
Yeah, I'm
And
ready. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
all right. So first question is, what's your name? Where was you born and raised? And where do you currently live now?
So my name is Humble Among. You can call me Mr. Among for short. Don't call me Humble. I'm just kidding. You can call me whatever you want. But yeah, I was born in Dillon, South Carolina. I was born / abandoned at an amusement park called South of the Border in Dillon, South Carolina. A really wild, sort of racist amusement park called South of the Border in Dillon, South Carolina. Look it up. It's weird.
Huh.
And then I spent probably like what the first 10 years of my life down there, and then we moved up to Vermont, and that's where I currently still live, is up in the Green Mountains of Vermont in the New England
Okay.
area, if you will. Not really a fan of either areas of the country. I'm not really a fan of the South or the North. The North really has gotten old with the snow bullshit, so I'm thinking about moving. Low key, I
Yeah.
am thinking about moving somewhere else. I just don't know where. It's definitely
Midwest or something.
something,
Midwest
bro.
sucks too, though. You
I
get all
mean,
seasons in 1 month.
I really don't know. I've been thinking about maybe moving not all the way south to South Carolina, like maybe Virginia or some shit like that. We know some people down in Emily's
Right.
got some fam down in Virginia, Maryland area, so I've been thinking about maybe down there or something. Jen, you used
EC
to live in
said
Dillon?
Dallas.
Jennifer Johnson says she used to
What?
live in Dillon. That's crazy, Jen. Yeah, that's where I'm from, Jen. That's where I'm from.
Small world after
Shouts out to
all, huh?
Dillon. Shouts out to Dillon. That's an interesting area, Dillon, South Carolina, to say the least.
Yeah, I
I
can't say
remember.
I've heard of it, ironically.
Yeah, it's kind of a crime ridden. I think one time I read a thing that was like a list of the worst schools in America, like the worst public schools in America, and Dillon, South Carolina was #1. I was like,
Holy shit.
I was like, no shit, old
Well.
Dillon, huh? Shouts out to Dillon.
Well, I normally ask people if or why they chose to move, but it kind of I don't know that you'd want to still live
I
there.
mean, we saw a lot of racism down there. It was came
Right,
down to it.
right,
It's straight up, but there was a lot of fucking racist shit going on down there, and my dad didn't think that was healthy. Thank God to raise us in that environment and moved us the fuck out of there. And
right.
yeah, man, my mom died like when I was 7, so it was also a situation of like my dad trying to figure out like
What to do?
how to raise me and my sister by himself and shit. So it was like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know, bro. It was kind of like a tough thing for him because you know he suddenly was now got 2 kids that he's got to raise on his own. You know,
Absolutely. And
it was weird. It was
sorry
weird, bro.
to hear that, man. That's crazy. Let's
Yeah, rest in peace to my mom. Shouts out to my
yes,
mom.
yes, sir. Let's move on to the next question from there. Are you a juggalo? How long have you been down? And do you consider yourself a juggalo rapper? A lot of people don't like to be put in that box or a box at all, for that
Yeah,
matter.
I don't really care about the Juggalo rapper thing. Yes, I am a Juggalo. I don't really care about the Juggalo rapper thing. As far as how long I've been down, that's a tricky question because I first got into ICP in like 98, I want to say. Like after the Great Malenko dropped, I heard that shit in my friend's sister's bedroom when we were like all smoking weed type beat. And they put on the Great Malenko and I thought that shit was Cypress Hill. But
Ah,
they corrected me and they're like, "Oh, this is ICP. This is Insane Clown Posse." And I already knew who they were because I had seen them on MTV, like when the whole Great Malenko thing happened. And I think I saw them on wrestling. I think I saw them on a couple of different things on TV. Howard Stern. I think I had seen them on Howard Stern at that point. And so I had seen them visually what they look like. I've even seen them talk and shit, but I really hadn't
right.
heard their music, you know? So that was the first time I heard their music and I fell in love with the shit. My homie Scott dubbed me a tape cassette of songs. I think there were songs like from Forgotten Freshness, Great Malenko, and Amazing Jekyll Brothers. Because I was a broke boy and like I couldn't afford CDs. So my homie Scott hooked me up with a tape cassette because that's how long ago we're talking. And so
Right, right.
I bumped the shit out of that dog before I could really get enough money to go and buy my own ICP CDs and blah blah blah. Anyway, super
Not
down,
that.
super down. There wasn't like any juggalos in my area though. It was like me and my friend Scott, my friend Andy. Scott kind of grew out of it and became more of like a metal kid. And my friend Andy became more of like a hip hop kid. I was like the last one that was still like down with ICP or whatever. And then like the Wraith came out, right? And when the Wraith
Yeah.
came out, there was a bunch of juggalos that you know, they didn't like the reveal of Thy Unveiling, the Carnival is God, you know, all that stuff, you know. And I was one of those juggalos that did not like that reveal. It turned me off. And it's straight up like because my relationship with God is complicated. As I mentioned earlier, my mom died when I was 7. And I low
Right.
key, I mean, shit, I high key blamed God for the death of my mother. And it was like
Absolutely.
it was on some
Sorry,
like
I'm just getting the
why are you
bed.
gonna take that from me? That's like one of the only good things I have in my life, and you're gonna take that from me. So I was on some like fuck God shit or God ain't real shit. I don't know. I was on some fuck God shit for a long time. And really it was me coming back. It was like Ouija was a lot of it. Seeing Ouija coming onto the scene and like being like, oh, this dude can spit. This is dope. Like a juggalo rapper
Wait a
who can
minute, wait a minute.
actually
I gotta
fucking
interrupt you.
spit.
You didn't hate him instantly like the overall population seemed
Nah,
to?
bro. Well, I knew Ouija from here's the thing. I knew Ouija from back in the day when he was in Swag Tooth
Right.
because he did like a partnership or some shit with Mishka back in the day. And I was fucking with Mishka heavy. Like Mishka was like dropping all these mixtapes and shit. They did some shit with this group Das Racist, who I fucking love. Ooh, I love me some Das Racist. Shouts out to Das Racist, even though they're slightly problematic. Still shouts out to Das Racist. But yeah, man, I knew Ouija from Swagtooth from seeing him on Michigan and shit. And it took me a second to even realize it was the same guy. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the dude from Swagtooth. Okay. Dude can
He used to have
spit.
a
God damn, dude
beard
can
and
spit.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, he
yeah.
rocked his shit.
But I was like, man, that
Yeah.
dude can really spit. And so I was super impressed by that. And I hadn't, I was like dipping my toes back into ICP, listening to all the shit I used to listen to and being like, man, I used to love this shit, man. And I reading books about ICP. Like I'm like becoming interested in Juggalo shit again. I'm like literally reading books about ICP. I listened to Violent J's audio book, Behind the Paint audio book. I read this book, Juggalo, about the whole Juggalo gang classification. And they're coming to my area. So I'm like, fuck it, I never got to see them back in the day. I'm gonna go see them live. They were doing I forget what is it, one of the fest tours, Fight Fest, or one of those two tours that they were doing. Anyway, so I went to see them. Ouija opened. I got to see a rapper I really like called Cage open for that show. I shouts out to Cage Kennels. I don't know if that dude is still even active or doing anything, but anyway. And then I saw my first ICP show, which was the first time I saw the Fago fly. Sean.
Oh man.
That was really the moment for me where it all came together, where I was like,
Right, like
fuck,
full circle. Like, yeah, this was right. This is
this is
this
this
is
is my shit. This really is my shit. And then like they
right.
opened with Toy Box. They opened that tour with Toy Box and them coming out of like those like toy gimmick, like they were in like packaging. I don't know if you remember that tour, and they like
Right,
come out of the
right.
toys. Anyway, that's like my favorite ICP song, maybe like literally number one favorite ICP song, because they sample like Pee Wee Herman shit in there, and like I love Pee Wee Herman. Anyway, so
Right.
it was like a message to me almost, because that whole set list was like songs that I love that I'm like, damn, I can't believe they're doing this song. This is like dope. This is so dope. And I left that show going, I think I got to go to a gathering now. I think like I saw an ICP show. I feel like something calling me. I feel like I have to go to a gathering. I have to go to a gathering now. So I went. I didn't go that year, and I regretted it. Right? Like I think it was
Right.
Whoopstock. I think it was Whoopstock that I sat home, and I regretted not going. And I was looking at it on the internet because there was people like streaming and like uploading videos on the internet of their experience at the gathering and shit. And I was like, man, I really wish I was there. Fuck, I fucked up. I should have just took work off and gone, bro. Like this is stupid. I should have just gone.
Let me take a
And
moment to promote Humble. So I'm going to interrupt you, but to promote you. Speaking of gathering documentaries, since this man has started going from way back when, you can find a gathering documentary. I'm going to promote him on a podcast
starting in
level almost
2019.
every year. Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
starting in
That he's been
2019. Because
on his channel.
that was when I went. That was the first one I went to. And I decided, because I saw all these YouTube videos and I watched like a Family Underground and shit, what's the other one? There's another short form one anyway that is like really good. Fuck, I'm forgetting it. Anyway, so I decided to do my own like little vlog documentary and just like film my experience of going to my first gathering, because I mean, I figured that'd be an interesting perspective. And so
Right.
I that's what I did. And like I left that shit. I left that shit going like reluctantly almost. I guess I'm a fucking juggalo. Like,
Right.
but still almost fucking reluctant to it. You know what I mean? Like that for some reason that is still
Exactly.
reluctant, even though like I went there and I'm like, I'm gonna go back. Like knowing I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back. Then COVID happens, right? I get sober from
Yeah.
booze, and then the Wraith starts making sense to me more than it ever had before when I get sober from booze after COVID.
I think
I'm
that happens to a lot of us. We don't listen to the stories right away, the messages, and it's like we're attracted to the raw, like just nasty, odd, bizarre factor of ICP, perhaps, or
and I
just
think
like the
that's what
fitting in.
yeah, I think that's what was going on with me. Like I was a slightly edgy teenager who was into the wicked shit. You know what I mean? Like I like
Yeah.
horrorcore and the wicked shit when I was an edgy ass teenager. But then like going through all the things that I went through in life and like coming back to the shit, the Wraith made a lot more sense to me, especially getting sober, because I was seeing life in a light that I had not seen it in a long time. Maybe not ever, bro. Like, because like I straight up was like trying to kill myself with alcohol. If I'm talking real shit, if I want to be really real with you, Wiggles, I was straight up trying to kill myself with alcohol. I realize that now. Like straight up, like I'm just
Wow,
gonna
I'm
drink
glad you
myself to
didn't
death.
do that, sir.
And I, there was a couple of nights there where I almost did kill myself, and it was music that largely brought me back from that. Listening to Hell's Pit. Hell's Pit helped me a lot. And it was getting sober that I realized, man, how fucking crazy is it that Hell's Pit helped me when I was in my darkest moment, right? When I was in my lowest moment. And then Shangri-La, the Wraith Shangri-La was there for me when I was lifting myself up, when I was coming out of that darkness. So it's
Absolutely.
just like, it really shows, like in the intro of they talk about in the intro of the Wraith Shangri-La, it's the reflections of our lives. And that's truly what I think the Joker's cards are. Each one of them are different moments where you are in your life, and it might speak to you at a different moment in my life. When I was 14, 15 years old or whatever the fuck, when the
You
Wraith
can't
Shangri-La
see
came
it,
out,
man, but that's cold chills because that's
hell yeah, bro.
real. That's a real.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, when that's the Wraith didn't speak to me when I was 14, 15 years old. But
Right.
boy, did it. And now I love the Carnival is God. I love that reveal. I love we're not sorry if we tricked you. I love that shit. That shit's punk rock. That shit's fucking counterculture. That's some fuck you. That's some seriously like fuck you if you don't like it type shit. And I was one of the ones that didn't
Right.
like it at that time. But
Yeah,
here's the
yeah.
thing. A lot of people want to like talk shit about me about like, oh, he left. He dropped the hatchet. He came back. Bitch, the point is that I came back. You know what I mean? The point is that this shit was here for me when I had nothing, and it helped me when I had nothing. So I mean,
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of Juggalo. I can't tell you how many people come up to me and they tell me like, bro, I'm so glad you talk about that shit, because people don't realize like how many people that had that experience, like of like they were turned off by it at the time, but they came to understand it. You know what I
I
mean?
know some. Well, I mean, I say homie lightly to even an ex homie, I guess somebody an acquaintance. That's just a word, we use, technically. But I know some dudes that don't, they fell off from that. The truth is, we follow God, and that's the verse they'll use against me. Like, nah, I can't fuck with them. I'm like, do you not realize, like, the deeper meaning into that? And they're talking about Shangri-La is like our heaven, and
Yeah.
but no, they can't. They can't wrap their no. They said God though, and
And you know what? And it took me a long time
what
to realize that's just a metaphor. You know what I
it's
mean? Even if you're not
spiritually
religious,
whoever you're right.
even
It's
if you're not
whoever,
religious,
whatever. Yeah,
Shangri-La is your happiness. Just look at
right.
it like that, right? Shangri-La, even if you're not religious at all, Shangri-La is your nirvana. You know what I mean? Your happiness in life, the things that you want to accomplish in life that will make you happy, that's your Shangri-La, dog. And you got to be
Right.
in the right headspace. For years, I was not in the right headspace to even accept the offerings that life had for me. Now I'm in that. I'm in a much better headspace where I can accept that shit. And nothing but good shit has been happening to me ever since. Like literally everything I've
Absolutely.
wanted to accomplish, I've accomplished. Like
I'm
literally.
sure not without a little struggle, but yeah, it's probably
I've done everything I've wanted to do at this point. Like literally everything, and it's made me realize like I can just have fun with this shit. Like it doesn't have to be like super serious, and that's what I've been really trying to do, is just trying to have fun, bro.
I feel it.
That's the mission. All 2025. All 2025 is the fun year for me. I'm trying to have fun all year.
Let's do it. Make the whole year legendary, not just the gathering.
Facts, bro,
Uh,
for sure.
let's move on from the next or that question.
I'm
Dude,
long-winded,
well,
bro. I'm
what?
sorry.
No, you're cool. I love it when people come up here and give me actual answers and not just try to like
Can,
skip through
can
to
I
get to
pause for
the
one
end.
second? Can I pause
You
for one
can do
second?
whatever.
I need to get a drink here. I'm so caught
Yes,
up
sir.
right now.
No,
Hold
don't
on.
apologize. I'm gonna say what's up to what the hell is up, chat? My dude, he hates chat. What up, chat? chat. No, listen, 15 people in here. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I see some faces that I don't normally see. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I know you guys came to support Humble more so than me, but regardless, I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you could hit that like button, it would, mean the world to me. I'm gonna try to make this play in the background. I don't know if it's going to, so bear with me here. Let's see. Tell me if you
All right,
hear.
I'm back.
Yeah. Shout out cheese. Whoop whoop. uh, at any rate, yeah, no. So, what inspired you then to make music? Because I didn't for the longest time even know that you done music. I just thought you done the podcasting thing. You were
I've been making
definitely a
music,
known face.
bro. I've been
Go
making
ahead.
music for so long. What inspired me was realizing how easy it was getting. Like, I started making music on a Hewlett Packard computer that had 12 gigabytes of space on it back in 1999. I would say I
Mm-hmm.
think that's when I started making music with a $12 Walmart microphone that sounded okay, okay enough to record vocals on. And yeah, I started making music because I realized how easy it was to just kind of do on your own. It was horrible. Like, I was straight up recording. I was straight up recording on Cool Edit Pro with one window open with the beat playing, and recording into another window open, and then trying to copy and paste over that waveform, just trying to any sort of on beatness, and it was bad. It was really bad. But like, I did it for a long time, just kind of like on my own, like kind of just doing it to amuse myself, if that makes any sense. Um, Not really trying to promote my shit like at all. I would post it like maybe on like social media for my friends to check it out if they wanted to, but not like really trying to promote myself. And like I said, man, I got really bad into booze for a while there. And yeah, there was what uh, not to get too deep with it. I guess I can talk about it more now.
you
But
you go to your limits, man. You answer it how
well,
you want.
here's the thing: a lot of people don't realize with me, Wiggles, because I haven't really talked about it much, like even on my platform. But for like the past 10 years or so, I had been taking care of my father, because or helping taking care of my father, right? Because my father had a stroke, and
Right.
he lost use of like half of his body, so he was forced to retire. Um, and he kind of got himself to the point in life where not a lot of people were around him anymore, because he had been such an angry man sometimes throughout his life, and kind of a man who held a lot of grudges, and
Right.
it got to the point where literally, and this is kind of fucked up, but literally the only person left for him was me, and I was the only one left taking care of him. Like, everyone else had kind of abandoned him.
Had
So
a resentment or something of sorts,
um
huh?
I mean, just him growing bitter, I think, is what it was. A bitter and angry. And the stroke in a lot of ways released a lot of that anger. He was different after the stroke. Like, he wasn't fully like himself anymore. Like, but he was largely still there. But it was like, it's hard to see your father go through that shit. And like, it was hard. There was a lot of moments where it was frustrating taking care of him. And because he didn't want to go into a home. He wanted to keep his independence. So he just passed away this
Yeah.
December. Rest in peace to my father. It had been a very long, trying time, you know, and lot of my alcoholism got really bad because of that situation. I think because just trying to cope with that situation. Um, Thankfully, I did get sober though. I'm almost 5 years sober from alcohol, and
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, thank you. May 17th, I will be 5 years sober from alcohol. And like, it's just like, it was rough. It was really rough having to go through that stuff with my dad, and like, but now that it's like he's gone, it's like it's kind of like a good thing. It's fucked up to say because it's like a good thing and a bad thing, you know, like he's not suffering anymore, thankfully. Like
right.
it was bad towards the end, man. It was getting really bad. Um but yeah, I don't even know where I was
So,
going with
well,
that.
I believe I think
Essentially, I
you
was
were
talking about
saying
the alcoholism,
well, no, yeah, and
how it
it
got
probably
bad because of
stopped you
that.
from making music for a little bit, or really, like, you had the
Really,
passion,
it's not him. It wasn't him that stopped me from that. It was my alcoholism. It was the
the addiction,
yeah, well, it's just me kind of just being like fuck giving up on life, bro. Like, cause it felt like it wasn't worth it. If I don't know, man, it felt like my life wasn't worth living. I just felt like I gave up. And at the same time, you know, my dad had this stroke, and he like gave up. Like he didn't. It could just tell like he wasn't trying. He wasn't trying to do any of the rehab stuff that he could have done to maybe make his stuff work a little bit better. But anyway,
right?
that honestly, Wiggles, that's probably right here. That's probably the most I've ever talked about that shit. I haven't even on my own platform. I haven't really talked about that shit before.
Well, I'm glad you feel comfortable talking to me, man. I don't have no
I
I
gotta
mean,
just start
I
talking
got
about this
this.
shit.
You know what I'm saying? I got these lists of questions and this is based around music, but we could throw this all in the trash and we can just hug it out, humble, because that's the best shit ever. That's the best medicine. You got to talk about it. And you obviously took care of your father. You lost your mother young, and then you just recently lost your father. And in the
Yes,
midst of
I'm on my
doing
orphan
all of
shit.
that, you've still became humble among, and you do music and you do a podcast, and rather you take from it or not. Like people know your name before I was even an anybody on an online presence, mind you. I've been down for 20 years, 2002, baby. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
Wiggles.
But people didn't know no fucking Wiggles. You know, a couple homies did because they knew me in real life. But you know what I'm saying? Only recently have I became a social, hey, Wiggles, Wiggles. But a lot of people don't know Sean. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
people, I'm not gonna say your name because you didn't say your name, but and I'm saying people may know Humble, but they don't know blank.
Eric.
And
Eric is my
okay,
full
well
name.
there you go. I'm just saying. So if you need to talk, buddy, I'm always here to listen, and I appreciate you coming on and opening up a little bit. And either way, it's still I asked you, so
Hey,
what inspired you to do?
I told you before we even started, bro. Like I was an open. Yeah, we were talking about music. That was the question. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what
yeah, man.
inspired you
So
to start making music?
I
And
started putting myself out there a little bit more, um, because like I started doing it more. You know, I decided I was gonna start doing like horrorcore again because I started. Honestly, my first project was a horrorcore project called Friday. It's so embarrassing. Friday the 13th. It was called, and my artist name back then was Pug, Pugg, right? And I was on
yeah,
horrorcore. I was on horrorcore.com posting as Pug, promoting my music from mp3.com to shit. Where did we go after mp3.com? I guess MySpace or some shit after that, and like SoundClick and shit like that. Anyway, yeah, so like I pivoted away from that and I started doing, let's see, I did horrorcore first, then I did like probably like consciousness rap, then it was like emo rap, like emotional, like atmosphere, Sage Francis style rap. Then it was probably nerd rap, and then I think I was probably when I got to be in my alcohol shit. And then my nerd rap started becoming references to horror nerd shit. And then
right,
that started morphing back into the horrorcore shit again. Weirdly like full circle type beat. And
right,
now
right.
then so like I started really doing the horrorcore shit again. I did this thing called Halloween tape which is a concept that me and my homie Andy, who I started making music with, the Juggalo I had mentioned way earlier, and his name was Andy. He's still around, but I don't see the dude ever. Shouts out to Andy if he's watching though. He's his concept was like we should just do like a mixtape every Halloween and like drop it like on Halloween type beat and just call it Halloween tape and just like do horror shit like we used to do. And I'm like, fuck, bro, that's dope. We should just do that. So I did a Halloween tape with Andy, and he didn't rap on as much of it as like I hoped. I don't think he actually rapped on any of it, but we still like he did like half the beats on it. I did a couple of beats on it. And then like I decided I was just going to do like a horror thing every Halloween. And then I started doing, what was it? I had a song that was like a Christmas song that didn't fit on the Halloween record one year. So then I started doing Christmas albums. Then
Right.
I realized that some of these Christmas songs could be love songs. So then I started doing Valentine's albums. And then
You running with the holidays, boy.
I really got obsessed like with holidays, like I was Calendar Man or some shit for a while. And I did like 5 Halloween tapes, 4 Christmas albums, and like 3 or 4 Valentine's projects. I forget. I think it's 3 Valentine's projects. Anyway, so I've moved away from that because now I realized what the problem with that is. There's like a gift and a curse with that, right? So I set up these basically deadlines for myself. Like I know I got to get this shit out before Halloween. So I gotta work on something to get it out before Halloween. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like it would really force me to grind. It would really force me to go and work on some shit. But at the same time, I wasn't letting that shit breathe properly. I wasn't. So now I'm trying to slow down and like really focus on like my craft and like really making sure like what I'm making is like the best it can possibly be type beat. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I can tell you my last project was called Sign of the Times, which is produced by my homie Kosuke. I can tell you, I've talked a little bit about this on my shit, that my next project is called High Strangeness, and it's produced entirely by Devereaux. I can tell you
Ooh.
that. So look forward to that. There's some really dope features on that.
Devereaux slick with it. Shouts out Devereaux.
Homies type shit all over that shit. And it's like, it's a concept album, and I don't want to say too much about it, but if you're paying attention, people already know. I think some people already know what the concept is, but it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really fun for people to hear that because this is an interesting record, and I think people will like it. I think Juggalos will like it. It's a Juggalo record. I will say that. It's definitely a record for the Juggalos.
All right. Real quick, Bizarre asked, where's my Swanson flag? It's on my cylinder, dude. I can't really turn it. Like, I got this whole wall over here, but when I'm sitting back, I like to be able to look right up at that motherfucker. And I'm wearing the shirt today, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Ouija. This is probably the best merch drop that man ever done. And I like a lot of his merch and shit. And yeah, I'm a nut rider, but you ain't even got to be a jug to understand what the fuck this means. You know what I'm saying? That's neutral worldwide. Like,
I jack off to it.
Well, Bizarre, don't worry about what I do in my hand at night. You want to come join? You got $1 on it?
Hey, shouts out to Sean Murphy who did that design. That's like one of the hardest jug designs to come out. Like this.
See, I didn't even know that. Who is he? A jug or just randomly?
He does a bunch of t-shirt designs. There's a bunch of t-shirt designs that you would see. Pretty much any ICP event you go to, like Sean probably did at least like 4 or 5 of those, I would say, or some shit. Sean's like a tattoo artist who stays in Worcester. He's one of the artists behind Insane Clown Paintings.
I feel like I'm showing my Juff card or something here. I don't really know.
My brain's just like a sponge with jug shit. You know, I'm deep in the trenches with this shit, bro. Like
that's what I'm saying.
That's no gimmick.
Seen your face for a while in the circle, so even before I was in the online circle.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Okay. You know what? Who? Yeah, we already done that one. Who do you look up to then when you're making music in the music industry, like underground and or mainstream? Like, who do you kind of maybe inspire from or take from,
Oh
or do you
yeah.
think you don't, and then you're just like your own type of element altogether?
First of all, shouts out to Insane Clown Posse. Shouts out to Violent J for being one of the best writers in all of music history. Probably my biggest influences as far as like music shit would be Violent J and like Eminem. Funnily enough, um, there's an
I
there's
can't
an
even
there's
laugh
an
like
Eminem
I do
song.
it.
There's an Eminem song called Brain Damage, right? I don't know if you've ever heard Brain Damage. Brain Damage was a song that I heard that I was like, bro, I know I can write a rap song. if if I can write a rap song about this kind of shit, about being a nerd who's bullied in school, okay, all right,
Right.
I got you, dog. I can write rap songs about reading comic books. Got you. Got you on lock. I got you. But
Right, right.
but yeah, man, it was like so like let me just talk some real shit. My biggest artistic influence other than Insane Clown Posse and Slim Shady is Andy Kaufman. I don't know if you know who Andy Kaufman is. He's a comedian, performance artist. Jim Carrey did a movie called Man on the Moon
Okay.
that's about Andy Kaufman. Anyway, Andy Kaufman's like my biggest artistic influence. He's hilarious. Largely inspired people like Tom Green and Eric Andre and shit, and even Nathan Fielder. Other shit that I really look up to. I like
Okay.
comedians a lot. A lot of the shit that I do is inspired by comedy. Not even necessarily music at all. Like comedians are a large place where I get my shouts out to Candy Hoffman. A large of my like that's why I like ICP so much, because ICP is like everything I really, really like all into a musical package. Like ICP is comedy, horror, pro wrestling,
Yeah. Yeah.
theatric,
They're
actually like
real
kind of deep mystical meaning, strangely enough. Like, I don't know, man. It's like everything I really, really like
a
all in one package.
well-rounded package. You got
Yeah,
your
man.
spiritual level that you need. You got your
Pro
fun
wrestling,
entertainment. You
pro
need your
wrestling, honestly.
reality.
I gotta say pro wrestling's a big influence on me too. But also it's like the Andy Kaufman side of like pro wrestling, if that makes any sense. Like the kayfabe of it all, the pranksterism of it all, the having fun with the crowd of it all.
Yeah. Even being like ring announcer, spectator style, like on the side, like that shit's, I don't know, some of that's dope. It can make the night.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, that's definitely a different answer than I'm used to getting for that.
But also
So
like
thank you for, yeah.
shouts out to Corn, shouts out to like Limp Bizkit, shouts out to like other shit that like really inspired me. Isham. Shouts out Isham's definitely a big influence on me. But yeah,
So
shouts out to
I'm not gonna
Ishi
lie, I'm
forever.
gonna publicly say I've slept on Isham like forever, and I don't know, but maybe a handful of his songs. And that's not
Oh, bro,
being rude.
do yourself a
Yeah,
favor. Go listen to Booming Words from Hell and just go through the discography. I would say just start from
yeah.
the beginning with Isham, because some of those early records are the best Isham you can get. If you want to hear a really good greatest hits record, go listen to Bootleg from the Lost Vault. Bootleg from the Lost Vault's kind of like a greatest hits record that has some of his best shit on it, I would say. Um,
Bizarre. I know what he means to our culture. Okay, I know everything like that. I just his music. I've never. I don't know why. I used to, like I said, I used to gatekeep my music. If it wasn't the clowns or mainstream radio music, it wasn't put in front of me by the clowns, which Isham was. I still didn't really dabble too much. So like,
Isham's
I
part of the
didn't really
clowns.
listen.
Yeah, like
Right.
Isham's part of the clown's legacy, though. Like without
Right.
Isham, the clowns really wouldn't exist like in the format that we know it. We know it as.
Right, right. He had the footprint in, Detroit before the Clowns technically did on the wicked shit level and the
Isham's the first
connection.
clown, bro. Isham doing
Yeah.
"Homie Don't Play" and Violent J seeing the cover. That's that's where it comes from, largely, bro. That
Right,
like him being like, "Oh shit, that's kind of fresh. Maybe we should do something like that," and then him asking Isham's permission. That's
right.
kind of the birth of that shit, bro. Like that's a big part of it.
All right. Yeah,
And
yeah, absolutely.
he did some of the fucking early classics, bro. Carnival of Carnix? You fuck with Carnival of Carnix, bro?
Carnival of Carnage. How? Why am I drawing a blank?
Carnival. So on
Like Carnage, different from.
Carnival of Carnage, Violent J tells this story where Esham was saying Carnival of Carnix when they were recording that shit. That's an Esham produced record. So like he
Oh
wanted
shit.
Esham to say Carnival of Carnage, and he was saying Carnival of Carnix.
Carnix.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why he was saying that, but hey.
And that's on the album?
No, they changed it. I think it's
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You're really like making me like, whoa, wait a minute, let me set myself aside here.
Is because Esham was saying it like that. I think Violent J went in and like replaced it to say Carnival of Carnage. But it's like I feel like you can still kind of hear it because Jay's saying it kind of like weird and shit. Jay talks about it in Behind the Paint. Yeah, that's facts.
Hell yeah. Fair. And I'm never above knowledge. There's plenty that I may not learn or may not know somehow. So I mean that's awesome. Thank you. At any rate, let's next question here.
Yo.
I feel wet behind my ears.
Oh, you're good, bro. It's have you listened to Behind the Paint, the audiobook gimmick there?
No, that's one thing I have not.
Check it out. It's so fucking
I've been looking to like buy the actual physical Behind the Paint book or whatever, and I don't even know if you can still acquire that through like Amazon or.
I think you can get it through their website. Honestly, I think it's on the vault. But I think the audiobook is on the vault again. I saw. But anyway, you can listen to that shit on YouTube for free, and it's so. Just do yourself a favor and listen to it. It's so funny. Do
you have like a? Man, I'd say I'd like to source, like, if I'm going to give the time to watch it on YouTube, I'd like to give a homie a view, but if it's just whoever's...
it's like one of those things where it's like someone just uploaded it. It's just going to be like if you can find it type beat.
Right.
I would just recommend it. You check it out if you can, though. Like, I think it's on Spotify. I think it's on Spotify, right? I think I saw it on Spotify recently. Anyway, you can check it out in multiple different places.
Yeah. So... Next question. Any current projects in the works, or what's next?
High strangeness. That's what I'm working on right now. Devereaux produced project, all Devereaux beats. Some homies rapping on that shit with me, like Will Gates, my homie Kosuke. A feature I can't name. Cheese House. Fuck. I'm trying to get a track with Odious on there. I'm still trying to work out a place for Odious on there. Then after that, we're working on a project with me, my homie Kosuke, and my homie Odious. That's like a 3-man project. So we're kind of like recording tracks for that too right now. And that's like been really, really fun. Like I was talking about earlier, I'm trying to make sure we have fun this year. So like that's like just been awesome because it's like one of us, like Odious will make a beat or Kosuke will make a beat, and then they just like send it over. And then one of us will like rap over the first part and like just send it to the next motherfucker, and the next motherfucker will rap. It's just coming together really easily and like fun, and like the tracks are all different. Like they're all like really different than anything that's coming out right now. And I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Now, do you do tours? Have you ever done tours? Have you tried to get on a tour? I know you've done like shows like
me, bro.
unannounced. I know at the Gathering, which I'm fucking pissed, bro. That's one thing. There's a lot of you guys that like fuck with me, like really fuck with me now, and like it ain't that necessarily. We didn't fuck with each other last year. You was your name, pun intended, humble. You were cool with me. You didn't act better than me. You recognized me. You know,
gave me what up to you at
You told me that to keep doing my shit, bro. And believe it or not, that like meant something to me. I'm like, what? Humble's been peeping my show and told me to keep it up. What? You know. Bro. So, but my point is like I didn't do a lot of engaging. I missed your little concert that you done offsite, you know, not on one of the main stages, but over there in Ballas or wherever it was. Like, right, that's exactly. I missed so many of those. Which ones? I missed some of the weddings, like so much.
Like
so this year, like I'm trying to see something.
Well, hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed type beat. They actually will book me for something. But I mean, at this point, like I'm cool either way, you know. Like I just have fun pulling up to like hang out with people, and like
Right.
honestly, like if I don't get booked for a stage, I ain't even that mad because it's like it's gonna be like a lot of pressure. It's gonna be heavy pressure on me if I do get booked on a stage. So
Right.
hey, if I can just chill, like I'm cool with that too. I'm cool with that too. But I'm almost certainly gonna end up popping up and rapping on a homie's thing or something. I hope. So yeah, we'll
Right.
see. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm never say never type beat.
Okay, and then so you're saying it's just hard for you to get on tours? You said promoters don't like you, so you don't be really
No,
doing
I don't
anything
really book a
though,
lot of shows, bro.
locally or anything?
I just did a show in Dallas that Strife hooked me up with. Strife did this thing called Juggalo Night Dallas. Um, Probably like the best paid I've ever gotten doing a show. I don't know if I'm speaking out of school by saying that, but promoters don't really like, I don't know. I guess they just don't want to book me or don't care to book me. I don't really get booked for shows like that. Around here in the New
But
England area, I've not really been booked on shows. I don't personally I don't understand it because I know I have a draw and like I can get
do you
people to pull
promote
up.
yourself like that though?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I put it out there that I do shows. It's not like it's unknown.
Right.
Maybe I need a
Oh.
manager. I don't know. I need a manager or a
Yeah.
money mark or both. If there's a manager, if there's a manager slash money mark out there that would like to invest in the Humble Among brand, hit me up. I'd love to
Right.
take advantage of your money.
Absolutely.
Fuck, I
Uh,
fucked up this blunt. I just spit
what's
out
your,
this blunt.
what's your favorite song then, man, that you got, or maybe a couple songs for people
My
that
favorite
don't
song
know
right
about your
now is my
music?
newest single that I just dropped called Gonzo. It's literally my favorite song I've ever made. I was obsessed with it when I first made it. I listened to it like probably about 17 million times in a row, just obsessively. So go check out Gonzo. It's produced by Devereaux. It's gonna be, I think, the first song on my new project, High Strangeness, that I don't really have a date for yet. I'm just kind of trying to finish it. It's almost done, honestly. It is very much in the end stages, but I keep getting the feeling that something's missing. So I want it to feel like when all the songs are there, like that's when I'm gonna drop it. Um,
Right.
but yeah, go check out Gonzo on all
Okay.
streaming services now. Also, go check out shit, man. They're all gonna laugh at you, which is another song produced by Devereaux that I dropped fucking like 2 years ago. But it's also gonna be on High Strangeness. That's where that song is gonna live. What's another banger? What's another banger of mine? Oh, go check out Cryptids Creeping Out the Cut and Poop Nuts as well. Those are two songs that I find hilarious of mine. If you're looking for Humble Among shit to check out,
Hell yeah.
check out Sign of the Times. Check out my project Sign of the Times because there's a lot of bangers on there.
Crow said I'd
I'm
give
really
it a
proud of Sign of the
listen.
Times. That's the homie Kosuke. We did this record, Sign of the Times, and I'm really proud of what we've
Widget
accomplished with
said,
that.
and also homies. Yeah.
Yeah, homies. Homies
Super.
is on that record for sure. I shout out a bunch of homies on that record. Fuck, I
I'm
screwed this
not
blunt up so bad. It's just not gonna happen.
dirt
Keep
in the
hoping I can
corner.
fix it. Yeah, Dirt
People
in the
are
Corner is
just
another banger.
listening to shit, boy. You got some
Fart
fans
sniffers,
listening?
hell yeah. Bizarre 17 with the fart sniffers. Hell yeah, dog. Fart sniffers is deep. That's a deep cut. You got to know about some shit to know about fart sniffers.
uh,
Hell yeah, dog. Yeah, fart sniffers is dope.
so then
I
with
love my own
music,
shit.
I I'm kind of creating a different question that I normally don't ask here, and that's because like so I know you do the podcasting thing too, and it sounds like you almost do music just for fun. You're not
Oh yeah.
banking on it or whatever,
Oh
or
yeah, I
you're not
lose money. I
aiming to
lose. I
live.
lose. I think I lose money on music for sure. Like I do this shit for fun because I want it to exist. That's literally
So
why I do it.
so then I ask realistically, it's this question to somebody that comes up here and I'm a rapper and this is what I'm gonna do and hopefully I want to get rich and live off of it. The question makes sense. For you, I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm just gonna ask it, and you answer it however you want to answer it. But the question goes as follows: realistically, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your 5 year plan?
Oh,
So
I
I'm just
love that
gonna
you asked
say
that
you can
question. I
answer
love it.
this on music. You can answer it on podcasting. When I created this channel and started doing these podcasts, I had planned if I got anybody to interview for a podcaster, it would be you. And then I'm like, well, now I'm doing the music thing, so
Let me tell you a
just can't.
story. Let me tell you a story real
Yeah.
quick, Wiggles. So I would say about 6 years ago now, maybe 7 years ago, I was asked a very similar question on a YouTube show, a friend's YouTube, a local friend's YouTube show. It's probably still on YouTube. Honestly, you could probably still find it if you did enough research. But I was asked a very similar question, and if you go look at that, if you can find it, I pretty much describe in my answer where I'm at right now. I pretty much describe literally where I'm at right now. So, and that's how I feel. I literally feel like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever, if you were to ask me where I would want to be in my career, whatever you want to call it, it's where I am at right now. Not a large following, not like an overbearing following where I feel like, fuck, like this is a little too
Right.
much, but enough where it's like, yeah, bro, like I have a little bit of pull in this community. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
people look to what I say and shit. Like that's kind of fresh. Like, and people listen to my music, and I've had people tell me that my music's helped them, and like that's really fresh. Like that's like what I wanted. Like, and I fucking manifested that. Like I was saying earlier, man, I've kind of that's what I was alluding to earlier when I said I've kind of done everything I wanted to accomplish. Type beat. Not that I'm done with everything. I'm definitely not
Right.
done. Now, to get to your question though, where would I want to be 5 years from now? Right? Because I'm
Right.
where I'm at right now, where I wanted to be 5 years ago. So 5 years from now, say I would want to be. Let's see. How do I put this in language that you humans will understand? I would want to be an entity that has transcended this dimension and have reached my full universal power, where I could control not only my destiny, but this universe's destiny. Hell yeah. That's where I'm
You're
going to be in five
he's
years.
got a big reach, boy.
That's where
five
I'm going to be in five
years.
years, bitch. Fucking check
All
in.
right. Yeah. Man, I hope to watch it happen. I don't know what the hell I'll be doing in 5 years. Hopefully, still running some of these interviews, maybe. But the same thing, like not too big of a following, but a decent little
Hey man,
something.
my point being is get crazy with it. You might as well. I'm gonna win an Oscar in 5 years. I'm gonna
Yeah,
win a Grammy in five
you
years.
only live
I'm
once.
gonna win
Manifest it.
I'm gonna win an ESPY award because I'm gonna start playing sports. Fuck it. I'm gonna play football.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play
yeah,
football. I don't even know the rules of football, but I'm gonna start playing it. We'll see.
yeah.
Check in on me in 5 years. See where I'm at.
Man.
You get a
So
Celsius in me, boy. Boy, I'm a different man. I'm all fucking wired up off of Celsius, boy.
hell yeah. Okay, so this is another one that's gonna be kind of a different answer for you. If not music slash YouTube for that matter, then what? What do you think you would be doing? Would you just be working a 9 to 5, still
Probably
jugging, but
probably be dead, dog.
ouch.
Probably
You
be
know,
dead. I
you're
probably
not.
would have off on some real shit. I probably would have off myself.
There's sadly a handful of people that have said that very thing, and I'm glad you didn't, and I'm
Me
glad
too,
the
bro.
music or whatever that you needed to, hold on to worked. People will call it cliche, humble, but I've lived with that. I've been standing on top of a train bridge, done with my life at 19. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been on my own since I was 16. Mom dipped. I've just been on my own and father was never around.
Yeah.
And I always held with me, I can't be a juggalo and commit suicide. We don't believe in that shit, which
Right.
sadly, demons win. But
Well, the demons didn't
I
win, bro. You're still
really,
here today.
right,
I'm
right,
glad you're still
right.
here. You know what I mean? Like that's
I'm
the most
saying,
important part.
obviously, there's homies that didn't sadly have that result or whatever, but I don't blame them. I used to be kind of, negative when I said that. I used to be like, you're a bitch if, take the easy way out. That ain't an easy way out. That's hard as fuck, man, when you're in that moment. It's really hard. So, I'm just taking back on what I've said in the past with it.
I'm sorry, Wiggles. That comment in the chat's like so bizarre. I was laughing at that, not you.
No, you're cool. I don't even know what
I
it
don't even know what
says.
that means. I can't figure it out.
I think H Monk people also
I think the H among poople also drink that nasty bee nut beer too. H among hoes chew up beetle nuts and spit it into a bowl. It marinate a while, then beetle nut beer barf is bad. Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah. I agree.
Did we know that?
I agree with you, Filbert. I agree.
Did we know, Filbert? Widget, can you do some back search on that one there, buddy? Like, did we need to remove that?
No. Keep Filbert. I like Filbert.
All right. As long as they don't cross the 3 rules, you can stay, Filbert.
He said, wait, I'm going to his other comments. This is funny. I know for a fact that H among poople live off of bean soup and grubs. Hell yeah, dog. I live off of bean soup. That shit's lit. Do not get rid of him, mods. Do not get rid of him. Keep him. I live for this shit.
All right. What did you want to be as a kid? Was it a singer or a podcaster? Or a firefighter?
Bro, I remember for a little while as a little kid, I wanted to be a firefighter, I think, for a little bit. I think that was like when I was in 2nd grade. Yeah, and I think I did want to be a singer or like an entertainer or an actor or something, a comedian or something. Ooh, what you got there? Oh, the enchiladas is ready. Oh boy. See, I ain't eating bean soup. I'm eating enchiladas.
You got it wrong, Filbert.
Filbert in the chat. Filbert Bagodouche. But I didn't realize it was Bagadouche.
Konnichiwa.
Hell yeah.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. I don't know, man.
Bitch.
Yeah, konnichiwa. Okay, I got you. We're on the level.
Filbert. I like Filbert.
Okay. Dang it. Have you played, obviously, we kind of touched on this, but officially, have you played The Gathering? And then if not, how many times have you been to it?
I've been to The Gathering 5 years. This will be my 6th year on The Gathering of Legends. I played The Gathering in 2023, right? There was a band named the Kingsmen that dropped out last minute, and I got a call from Brian, who had seen me the day before. Brian works for Psychopathic, and Brian helped basically hooked my ass up because I had seen him the day before, and he just had me in his brain. Like, Humble's here. Humble's probably ready to go. And sure enough, I had this weird feeling the night before, or the morning, actually, that we were going out there that, like, hey, maybe I should bring my USB. And yeah, I got the call from Brian, and then really quickly had to run around and get ready for the set, like, because it was a fill-in thing. It was not planned at all. And yeah, it was dope because it was like, that was the alien themed year. So like,
you know what? Sorry, I asked that question, and now I see your video. I don't know who shared it, whether it was your video or somebody's video, but I remember seeing you on stage.
Yeah. So that was like a fill-in spot. That was not planned. If you look on like the Gathering website, like, I'm not in that spot. It was a band called the Kingsmen. But I was like, I felt really blessed that I got that spot because it was like the first day of the Gathering, and it was like on the stage that I probably wanted to play the most because they had that sweet like alien head on the stage, the Martian stage. So I really wanted to play that stage, not even necessarily main stage. So yeah, man, like that was a dream come true type shit for me. Like, and a bunch of people pulled up for me, like last minute type beat. So it was a really cool moment, man.
Do you ever ask? Like, do you ever put your info at the Gathering, send it, and ask all your people?
I used to send people to do that. I used to bombard the fucking thing, ask them a couple of different times. But I feel like at a certain point, they see your name so many times that they just they just like almost tune it out. Like, because at this point, I don't even really like try to pitch that shit anymore because it's like
Right.
I would hope that they would realize like I'm available, like I'm definitely willing to do it, but like I'm not really gonna like pitch myself like that because I have like many years in the past and it's just nothing's come of it. So
Right.
like I don't know, man. It's like, and like I said, like I'm not really that stressed on like trying to get booked because I already did do it. And so like if they want to book me, they can book me. Like I'd love to play, but like I'm not really stressed
Right.
on it either because I also really want to gather. I really want to just hang out with homies and gather and shit. So
I'm caught in between that. So like that first year, I seen so much and missed so much, and here we go next year. Now like I want to try to like plan, but at the same time, I want to plan to hang with homies. Damn it, like
yeah,
that
big fact.
feeling is unreplaceable. That's what I mean. Like last year, I seen you guys, and maybe in brief was like, hey, but I didn't like kick it. You know, I made sure to give some hugs out and shit. I was hugging strangers. I didn't give a fuck. You know, if
Yeah.
you went to embrace me and I felt cool, I was giving you a hug or whatever. But like I said, I seen so much but missed so much, and I don't think you can ever plan to. Obviously, you can't see everything, but you definitely can devote time to just gathering to gather. I get that, and I want that to be in my headspace as much as I want to plan to actually like see events better this year. Like I probably won't do the flea market, so that
It's so
opens up a little time and
every year you like you plan stuff out you want to do, and it's just like you have to almost just accept there's going to be stuff that you miss because it's just like that's just the nature of the
right,
gathering. It's just like if you're going to end up getting distracted by something, you're going to want to just chill and talk with the homies like sometimes and maybe not go to the event that you said you were going to go to. Like it's just the way it happens, at least in my experience. Like that's it's just sometimes you're like, fuck man, I'd want to just go and hang out with the homies right now, like because you don't see these people for like a year. Sometimes some
right.
of them you only see at the gathering,
Most
like
of them,
literally,
right.
like
I'm,
yeah,
I'm I'm fortunate now that like I do run into a handful here and there when I hit those Ohio shows. I've been trying to do my part to catch up, man. Anything that I can afford, catch on a weekend. It's within decent driving distance. I'm trying to go, but like
are you
the
going
big
to
events, I
Juggalo
don't
Ohio
get to
3?
go. Yeah, the second day, sadly, I don't get to go to the first day. My old lady has to work, and no, wait, you got it. But now we can you buy the first day still?
Yeah, you can buy the first day. I think the
We
2-day passes are still up. I don't think those
well,
are
I
fully
already
filled.
paid for the second day for us because we wasn't sure if we was gonna be able to
Yeah,
go both days, and then she ended up. That's what it was. I could have technically went. She originally didn't have it off, and then her mom, ironically, was like, "I'm gonna come down that week." So then she took the week off into the weekend, and I had done bought our tickets. So I don't. At any rate, I'm gonna be there the second night regardless, but
yeah, and
maybe
maybe the
not
first
that first
and
night.
maybe the first
No,
night.
yeah, maybe, yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that, but it's money too. That's a week away. I got mortgage right after the end of the month, like at the beginning of the month, and a lot of bills crunch at that time.
Yeah,
And they be dropping all this fresh merch. I done 8 different things to shop payments, and man, the struggle's real scrubbing and rapping. But no, yeah, I've been really trying to like go to as many one-off events, little concerts, and even if it's not big names or whatever, if they're homie or jug related or something like that, because I feel premature. The first 20 years of my life, I was homeless, or well, not the first 20, but the second, whatever, and I don't know. I was getting my life together. I've only
well, I'm glad
recently
I'm
found
glad
stability.
you're in a better place now, dog. I'm glad you're in a better
Right,
place. Got a roof over your head and shit, you know.
right. uh, so that's that. I don't know. I started rambling there. I love
No,
it
you're
to
good,
talk
bro.
about Jay and going to events and stuff, man. Let's go. Damn it. Okay, if you could collaborate with any artist, mainstream or underground, who would it be?
Um, Doing a song with Violent J would probably be really dope to me, or like Insane Clown Posse. Doing a song with both of them would be really
And
dope.
I asked people, do you think that's like way far fetched, or do you think it's possible?
Not right. I mean, I would never say never. You know, I would just say never say
Right.
never. Because like I want to be
Right.
this ultimate being of light in 5 years. Never say never.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. uh, you was I kind of cut you off. I don't know if you were starting to add to that or not.
Oh, yeah, that would probably be like an ultimate goal. Like doing a song with like Violent J or ICP. Like that would be an ultimate goal. Um, yeah, man. I've been blessed enough to do a song with Ouija. I've been blessed enough to do several songs with Darby. Um, I've collaborated
Yeah.
with a lot of people that would be like goals of mine, like already and shit. I'm trying to think of like
I
another
feel that, man. I've collaborated without having any part of it. You know what I'm saying? Just
blessed. I'm
randomly steal
honestly,
my
bro.
shit and throw it
Honestly,
on a song.
honestly, bro. I'm blessed enough to have homies who like I feel like are so talented that I'm just like lucky to even make music with. Like my homie Koski, my homie
Right.
Odious, my homie Will Gates, my homie Cheese House. Like all those are like
Yes.
homies that I just feel blessed enough to even be around and shit, you know?
Yes. I absolutely agree. I feel that way with even like doing these because I came out the gate of the gathering running and like ironically I had known King Wicked and a couple artists that were willing to be like, you know what, we'll come on. They helped me get the ball rolling. So the next artist was like, well, have you even interviewed anybody yet? Yeah, I done this, dude, or whatever. So yeah, no, I feel it. Um, and it.
Shouts out to the animals behind you, by the way, the little puppers,
Oh
puppies
yes,
behind you.
sorry,
No, no,
Abby,
don't apologize. I love it. I
Ellie,
love
and
it.
Ang.
What's up, guys? Woof woof.
Yeah, yeah. Epilepsy sucks, Wicked, but I have met a lot of good people. Oh, y'all are having a conversation. I love that shit too. Y'all just keep up with it. And I'm gonna ask Humble, what's your favorite color? Even though I think we know.
Green. Yeah, green is my favorite color. I like green and purple. Green and pink.
Yeah.
Green and pink's a really good
Okay.
combo. I like that combo. Hey, shouts out the 10-piece over there.
Yeah. And what's your favorite domestic, domesticated and wild type animal?
I like cats a lot. Shouts out to my cat Steven here. I got a pet right here. I got this little goofball Steven. All right, sorry, Steven. Yeah, I love cats, man. I feel like cats are like my spirit animal. I also like polar bears.
Yeah.
I feel like a weird spirit animal thing was polar bears for some reason. Whoa. What you got, buddy? Now I got another cat meowing over here. What is it, Preston? Yeah, cats, bro. Cats and polar bears, bro. I like cats and polar bears. Penguins are pretty ill too. I fuck with penguins.
Who was it that said that? Somebody said a penguin as their wild animal. I don't know who I interviewed recently. They picked a penguin.
Turtles are dope.
Yeah.
I like turtles a lot.
We heard it. Ruby?
Hey, shouts out to Cheese.
Is she back in here?
Yeah, she is in here.
Oh, okay. Hi, Ruby. We love you. That interview was great too, y'all. Go if you haven't seen that. Go watch Ruby's interview. Or you mentioned Will. Like Will's interview was dope too, boy.
Billy Defense.
Okay. So we have 23 people in here. Please, please, please don't disappoint me. I ask this all the time when I get to this point. Firstly, we've been live for an hour and 8 minutes. If you've hung out with us, thank you. I love you. I appreciate it for any amount of time. We have made it to the bottom of my page before I go to the next page. We're just about there. But I like to have you guys ask questions. So if you know an interesting thing about Humble maybe that you want to get out of him, ask that question. If you have an honest, just random question, ask him a random question. In the meantime, while I'm waiting to see you guys put that in the chat, I'm going to ask Humble, being in the underground scene, in the music aspect, how do you try to separate yourself from others when you are, in fact, making
Oh
music
man,
or
that's easy, dog. I just gotta be me. I'm already such a fucking big weirdo. It's all I gotta do is just be me. That separates me pretty much naturally. People are like, oh,
nah?
this guy's a fucking what's wrong with this
Right,
motherfucker?
just be your true self. No, it ain't ending. Who said wait? It's ending. No, this is
No,
like
it's not.
halfway point, intermission. Like I like to get y'all to ask some questions before we turn the page. You know what I'm saying? But
Ever been afraid to release music? Yeah, that's a good question. Ever been afraid to release music? Yeah, definitely. I've made music largely for myself for years. Crow named Ka. Yeah, I made it for myself, like I was saying, for years. Like didn't really put it out to anyone but my friends. Yeah, for sure, for
Filbert's
sure.
got a question, but you gotta understand it.
Sayonara from
All right, that's
Cambodia. Favorite horror icon. I really like Chucky. I think Chucky is like low key like one of the best slashers of all time. I
bro. Is
also
Evil Cook still in here? He's in love with Chucky, boy.
yeah, Chucky's tight, bro. I like Chucky because Chucky has the best continuity of any slasher series. Like everything connects and everything matters. I really like that. Um, when we get in a Wicked Cosmo and Wanda track, stay tuned for the 10-piece debut. Right? Twerking for Jesus. Stay tuned.
I hear the whoop whoop at the end of the song. Don't give a fuck. Chucky's dope. When we get in Wicked, Cosmo, Wanda
Yeah,
track, Humble.
that's what I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
about. The 10-piece.
My
We're gonna get a
fault.
10-piece song here sooner rather than later.
Hell yeah.
I think we got the whole thing written. We were just talking about it yesterday. I think we got the whole thing written. We just got to find the right production. What's the
Yeah.
rabbit question? How I dodged the rabbit question? What
Yeah,
was the
what
rabbit
are you
question?
talking about, Cheese? I
What's
was
the
saying I
rabbit?
hear the whoop at the end of Wiggles. Are you talking about at the end of the stream or that little music thing? You want me to play the
Where
sound
the fuck
that
is the rabbit?
Ruby
Oh, that
played?
question. Cheese, we talked about this. JO3 is in like 2 weeks. I'm bringing it to you at JO3. You'll get the rabbit costume, and then you can, I don't know, do whatever you're trying to do to it. It seems like do something really weird to that cheese. That cheese is trying to cheese all over that dang.
Twerking for cheeses.
Yeah, cheese is gonna cheese all over that, if you will.
Na 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 na. Yeah, that's dope.
Not that
Um,
queso, right, cheese?
uh, this next one, I don't want to like jerk your emotions or nothing. So just
No, jerk my emotions. Tell me jerk that emotion.
simply answer it, or yeah, or just kind of just say whatever. But I do ask it because I mean, our upbringing kind of is, that's our first intro to like music and such. So the question is, what music did your parents listen to, and do you think that affects the music that you listen to and make or
Yeah,
create?
probably it does a little bit, dog. So like my dad was like on some like weird shit. My dad kind of always liked weird shit. He had like a very eclectic taste. He liked like Frank Zappa and like blues and like a lot of like older rock and roll, but like he also is like the person who showed me Nirvana for the first time
Oh,
and shit. So like he liked a lot of like grunge shit, like weirdly, like too, and like some 90s rock, like Hole. He loved Hole for some reason. Like goddamn, he loved Hole. Um and so like that was his influence, but my mom was like more funky. I feel like my mom probably was more like Michael Jackson and like kind of like folk music and shit. As a kid, I loved Michael Jackson, and I think the Thriller album was the one that they played a lot. And I also really like the Cars. There's a definitely a thing with me in the Cars when I was like a very young child. But also
okay.
apparently I was obsessed with like the Beastie Boys. My dad had License to Ill, and like I was watching home movies one time when I was a teenager, and I found this clip of me as like a baby, and like I'm getting in the car with my dad to go like bring the trash like to the dump or some shit or something like that. And I'm getting in the car, and like you can hear me in the car saying like, let's play the tape, let's play the tape. And then my dad puts the tape in, and the tape is Beastie Boys because no sleep. No Sleep Till Brooklyn starts playing. I was like, damn, dog, I was bumping that Beastie Boys young. That boy wanted that Beastie Boys young. So that was really cool. That was really cool to like see like my rap fandom like that early, because like I think my first rap cassette was like Coolio, like Gangster's Paradise. Really, really showing my age though.
That's that jam though. That's when rap was still real.
It still is real. My guy, you ain't heard that new Cardi? You heard
No,
the new Playboy Cardi,
yeah.
I Am Music? What do you think of the new Cardi? You heard the new Cardi?
No,
No, you haven't heard
no.
the new Cardi? See,
I fuck with the
I'll be
new
honest, I kind of like
Lardy.
it.
The
I kind of like it.
Lardy.
The new Lardy, the new
I
Playboy
don't know about the
Cardi.
Cardi.
Yeah, the new Playboy
No,
Cardi. I like the new Playboy
maybe.
Cardi. I thought it was kind of something weird.
No, I'm not a complete hater on new rap. I do have respect for older hip hop and stuff like that or whatever. You know, like sure when it could be about ass and titties and money, but that's not like every
Ass and
word.
titties.
You know.
Ass and titties.
Yeah.
Hey.
But
Oh, she's sleeping
so
over there.
oh
Hey,
snap.
Wiggles, I'm not trying to like speed this up or anything, but I do
No,
have to
yeah.
get off of here to spend some time with the lady at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do this real quick since they asked it and I had it there. Just do you listen to music that people release now? Question.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
what
Playboy
I'll do
Cardi.
is I'll jump
Let's
to
listen to
this.
the new Playboy Cardi.
Yeah, there you go. Bam.
100%.
And
I like to trade. I like to stay somewhat current on music. My homie Kosuke definitely be showing me a lot of the newer shit. Like he put me up on this artist named Cemetery, which I feel like a lot of juggalos would fuck with Cemetery if they knew about him more. Cemetery is really dope for like a newer artist. Really weird. But I feel like he builds his own like world and lore in a way where like juggalos would really fuck with that if more juggalos listen to it. I
right.
definitely listen to Psych Ward Soldiers. They're really good. Koski just said that in the chat. Fuck man, with some other shit that's kind of newer. What Glorb? Is it Glorb or Blorg that does both of them are tight, but Glorb and Blorg, if you've never heard Glorb or Blorg, they do some really tight and weird fucking rap songs that are like cartoons rapping like trap shit.
So let me just hit you then with the hatchet right here. Bam, got the hatchet. I just got this cool little thing today. Stopped at a new
Oh hell
bookstore
yeah.
and they had a bloody hatchet bookmark. But at any rate, let me just hit you with three questions and the main ones, and we'll get you wrapped up, get you out of here, and
Hell yeah. Wiggles.
maybe
Thanks
we
for
can
having me,
run it
bud.
again, or maybe you can have little old me on your channel sometime, and we can
Yeah, I'm
shoot the
trying to,
shit. But
I was doing interviews for a while there, and I'm trying to like get back into that, but I need to like, I don't know, I need to get my shit in order a little bit first before I start doing long form interviews again. So yeah, I
right.
definitely want to showcase more Juggalo creators though. I want to use that platform.
Absolutely. So, question number 19 in my book, we'll pretend it's question 17 because
Yeah,
that's a
question
beautiful number.
17.
Who or what inspired came up with your stage name, Humble Among, and your logo design? Did you create that or did you outsource it? So, like, we know it's
So
alien, but
yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Give us a
yeah.
real quick little breakdown,
So
on that. That's a good one.
Humble Among comes from the original name was Humble Among Kings. Hey, Relic already knows. Humble Among Kings is the original name, and that came from a mushroom trip that I had one time, where I don't know, the name was just kind of stuck with me, and I was kind of like tripping on it for a while, and I went by that name for like maybe a year or 2 years, and then I got a Twitter, right? And on Twitter, they used to have a character limit for your name, and so I couldn't fit Humble Among Kings on there. So I just decided to get rid of the Kings so I could be humble among everything, because it was already something that I was like playing around with rhyme schemes and shit. Like I would replace the Kings with something else. So it was already something where I was like, man, it'd be dope if it was just humble among, so I could be humble among anything. And also there was
Right.
something attractive about the shortening of it, of making it just ha. Like I really like that it's just ha if you want to just do the short version of it. So
Right.
that's where that comes from. As far as the alien logo, The alien logo is just based off of, the classic big almond eye aliens that, like, go all the way back to the communion, the
And
book
like
from
you
the
believe in aliens?
100%.
Okay.
100%
I didn't
believe
know
in
if you
aliens.
just thought they were cool, type beat
Oh,
or
I think they're
whatever,
hella
or you
cool. I
really
think they're
like,
hella cool. I believe in them. I might be one. I don't know. I can't figure out if I am one. I feel like I am. Did you do cookies after
I
all?
only made 2 of them. I have to let the dough rest, but I wanted to make 2 cookies.
Cookies.
So,
Yeah, I believe in
let's
aliens. I think I might be an alien a lot of
let's
times.
do this, man. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna give you a moment to shout out somebody or anybody that you might want to shout out. I'm gonna ask real quick. I assume you might got a website, wink, wink, wonk, wonk, for people to
Uh,
get humble among stuff, or
yeah,
no?
humbleamong.com if you want some merch shit. I'm trying to get a new t-shirt store up and proper because I got a bunch of designs I need to drop, but I just need to find the time to make sure the shit is done right. So I just need to sit down and really design the store and do the store. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm probably going to redirect humbleamong.com to the t-shirt site when that happens. But right now, you can get CDs and sticker packs from humbleamong.com. You can get Sign of the Times and the reissued version of my record Wonderland, which a lot of people really like Wonderland. So I did a new version of it with 4 extra songs. 4 extra songs that are still only on the CD, actually. I still haven't released them on streaming or anything. So yeah, Humble
We're
Among.
gonna get your links, dude, and
Yeah,
we're gonna put everything that you want in the description of this video. It's gonna be right there at the top.
And let me say, if you're going to be at Juggalo Ohio 3 and you want a
Yes,
Humble
sir.
Among t-shirt or CD, I will be having Humble Among green boy t-shirts, that green alien boy logo. I will be having the remaining green shirts that I got left, limited sizes, but I will be having some of them on hand. So if you're trying to get a shirt or a CD or something, just ask.
What's that for that, like 20, 25,
30, I'm doing 30 on those
30?
shirts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to have some spending money. Like I said, money's tight all at the end, beginning of the next month.
Hey,
But
Wiggles, just hit me up, dog, with your hit me up with your address. I'll send you a shirt, dog.
oh well, I don't want it just to be free, but we'll figure something out.
I'll hook you up, bro. So I'll send you a shirt.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and then wrap this up then, like I do any stream that I end. I like to keep it that way and stay consistent. Tell somebody you love them, guys. You don't know who needs to hear that shit, and it could be you that would alter or change their moment in that time or whatever. Just don't be so quick to judge. When I was 19 and homeless, not one person thought I was 19 and homeless. They thought I was just a dirty kid out running about, and nobody asked me if I was okay or if they could hear my story, or you know what I'm saying. So just be a good person. It costs nothing.
Yeah.
I love
And
you
it feels
guys.
good.
Thank you so much.
Good. It feels good to show love, so you should do it more because it actually feels
Right.
good. You know that shitty feeling you get when you do something hateful, when you're mean to someone, that shitty feeling you have? Yeah, you have that feeling for a reason, y'all. Try to be nicer to each other. I know it's tough.
Right.
I'm mean to people a lot that I get embarrassed about it.
Yeah, I'm not perfect. I fall short.
By any means. Nobody's
know.
perfect, but we can all try our best, to be that
Absolutely.
ultimate being of light that I will be in 5 years.
5 years. We're holding them to it, folks. Humble, thank you so much for coming on, homie.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me.
Yep, we out of here.
Hey, whoop whoop.